Hi, and welcome back to the download. Now, a couple of themes are coming up this week for this energetic support. And the first one is being transcending the reptilian energy. And when we think of reptilians, you may have heard perhaps that there is a belief that the world is ruled by this reptilian energy that just wants to control and suppress mankind. And my personal experience with the external world is it's always a reflection of what is going on internally. So if we are fighting this external reptilian energy, we already lost the battle because the battlefield is not outside, it's inside. So how do we integrate this reptilian energy and turn it back inward? Is the thing is we have very much reptilian brain, and this reptilian brain is responsible for survival, for territorial issues, as well as our fight or flight response when there is danger. So when we are in an environment that is stressful, then we have a tendency to engage with the world from a more reptilian brain, and that would translate more like into like perhaps post-traumatic stress disorder or general anxiety disorder. So it's essentially like, and those like would be like PTSD would be further down the spectrum. But even like if we're not diagnosed with PTSD, sometimes we can carry an energy of anxiousness with us that's really something for us to deal with. And unless it's exaggerated, like PTSD is very acute, like we may not really be aware that it's there, but there's a little part of us that's always going to be perhaps like expecting the worst case scenario. Or when we sit down and we're quiet or we're trying to meditate, we have this anxiety coming out of nowhere, and essentially it's just it's our reptilian brain acting on us. And to me, the way to not be influenced by a world that loves to create fear or a fear-based environment is to really transcend our own reptilian brain and retrain ourselves to become calm and quiet and feeling safe in the world despite what is happening around us, because sometimes we can have a false sense of danger and it affects our decision making, and now we make fear-based decisions. Versus when we are calm and collected and we regain our dominion over this reptilian brain, then fear can no longer control us. So this video deals with that aspect of it's the energetic support to, yes, transcend the reptilian brain, but there's also another component to it, which is starting to feel the environment around us for Jedi-like abilities like telekinesis. Because if I wanted to move this lamp behind me, and I, without using my hands or something like that, and I just wanted to use my prana to move it, the first thing I would need to do is to develop a sensitivity, an ability to feel this lamp like it's part of my being, and from there then I can guide it with my prana and move it. So this is the next step again in our human evolution. But we can, the thing with when we start opening our energetic field to start feeling objects around us, it's very taxing perhaps for our nervous system because it never had this experience before. So the first thing we must do before we open our nervous system to calm it down and be able to integrate a perimeter of objects around us is to first overcome this fight or flight. If there's any residual stress in our nervous system, then we won't be able to expand past that point. So it's really essentially the two themes of this video is to transcend our reptilian brain so we can regain dominion and really like start reconnecting with a sense and feeling of safety. And from that place, we can further relax our nervous system to start integrating the environment around us so we can have a direct impact in an environment, like moving objects with our mind or reverting genetically modified food back to their origin and that sort of thing. But these things, we'll only be able to do that using our prana only if we first develop a sensitivity and being able to feel these objects in ourselves, in our vessel first. So this is what this energetic transmission is this week. Now, if you're not familiar with light language or really like this, there's a big frequency clearing, especially in the lower chakra where our survival, where a sense of safety is in the world, like in our root chakra. And there's also a huge crown chakra clearing. And the thing with these energies is when we first connect with them, we may feel a sense of relief, like, oh, wow, this is what it feels like to actually feel safe. But if there's a little bit, like sometimes I found like when we reconnect with an energy, it pushes a little more crap out. And what ends up happening is one day you'll feel like, oh wow, I made it, I'm finally back into safety, only to wake up the next day feeling stressed and anxious and not knowing what happened. Essentially what is happening is there's effervescence of these energies that are like stuck in our vessel as we integrate furthermore energies of peace and calm and safety, a sense of safety. As it pushes these things out, then we may actually experience stress as these energies are leaving. And this is just what it is. So if in the next couple of days after watching this video you experiencing stress and anxiety, just know that it's actually working. And the best way to handle these energies is to stay present with them and not engage with them, and really observing them. Okay, like I'm stressed right now, but I'm only doing dishes. Being stressed and anxious, like doing dishes does not warrant being me feeling stressed and anxious. So I'm obviously just projecting something outward here. So just again, use your own judgment towards that and observe. And I promise within 24, 48 hours, you will feel much better and you will be back to a normal, healthy human being. So again, if you're not already sitting in a nice, comfortable, quiet space, I invite you to do so before we proceed. My name is Isabelle and welcome back to the download. So I would first invite you to sit in a comfortable position and then just bring your awareness to your breath. Just noticing how it feels to breathe in and out of our lungs. You can close your eyes. Also take a moment, notice the connection with Mother Earth. And feeling Earth powerful. Feeling how strong the Earth is. How supported we are resting on this Earth. Now just relax and open your heart to receive. Kitra, kitra, tayatre ete iti si kayatre, inti ayakayatre utta sitiriate ete, intayatra itayatre ukatriata, nayanari ete iti sita kayatre iti, miyanari atra kitra sita ikayatre ete kiatra untiyanari etre kita untiyanari etre, siyanari etri untayanari etre kuta siyanari etre, ayanari ete miyanari atta kiatre unta kayatra, siyanari etre niyanari etre untaya kayatra utta. Remembering our connection with all that there is. Sitrayaka yatri utta kayanari etre kiti unayanari etre kita yatari atre siyanari etre unari atra yanari etre kita yanari etre unta yanari atra yata ete iti sitra yaka yatri unta ayanari etre iti kiyanari etre kita yatari atra. That energy permeates everything, niyanari etre kitra yita 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 yita, and therefore we can develop a sensitivity to everything around us. Niyanari atra, feeling the clouds, nayanari etre kiti utra, feeling the birds and the trees, nayanari atra kitra, as well as the cosmos, nayanari etre kitra yiti yatari etre. We have the ability, nayanari atra kitra, to feel, nayanari atra kitra, every celestial bodies, atoms, beings, nayanari akayatra, in our energetic vessel, nayanari ekayetri, utianari etre, as if it was part of ourselves, niyanari etre kitra yitayata yatari atra, because it is part of us, nayanari atra, we are everything, nayanari etri and nothing, nayanari atra kutra, siyanari etre kitra yatara etre iti tiatari atra, mianari atre sita yakayatre utta kayatra iti untianari etre kitra, mayanari etre iti siyanari etre utta kayatre untianari etre. And just removing any mental blocks, nayanari ekayatra utta yanari etre, who are preventing us niyanari etre kiti unta yanari atra kitra o yatra of feeling nayanari etre kitra yatara etre, the whole world around us, nayanari etre kitra, as one, nayanari etre kitra yita, and not as a separate being, niyanari etre kitra. Mianari etre sitra yaka yatre utta yatra utti yatre ete sitra yaka yanari etre. Mianari etre kitra yata yate ete siti uka yanari etre utra ayanari etre. Piatre iti kutra yaka yetre inti nayanari etre sitra yaka yetre utu yaka yana yatra sitra pitra kiatre utta yatra yaka yetre inti utta yanari atra kitra piatre inti yanari yatre utta yaka yatra inta. We are giant human antenna, yanari atra kitra iti yata yatre ite, like a transreceiver, nayanari etre kitra yanari etre kita. We can receive energies and frequencies and information from the cosmos, yanari etre kutra, and then transmit it and anchor them into the earth, nayakayatra utra sitra yakayatri unta yanari etre kitra yana etre uta yanari etre. Everything that is programmed through us to the earth, nayanari akayatra atra yakayatri ete, affects the collective consciousness of the whole planet. Niyanari etre kiti unta yanari atra kitra siatre utta yanari etre kitra yanari etre kaitra. Remembering the codes, nayanari atra kitri unti yanari etre kitra ite yanari etre kiti unta yanari atra kayatra ite yanari etre ika, to override the matrix, niyanari etre kitra yata unta yanari etre kita yata unta yanari etre siyanari etre unta yanari atra kitra yata yetre ete iti sitra yaka yanari etre mi yanari etre kitra yata ete siti unta yanari etre yaka yetre iti unta yanari atra. Remember, we can have a direct impact on the matrix around us. Nayanari atra kutra, yakayetre rete ete, unti yanari etre kitra, yata yetre, uta yatra yetere kayetre, unta yanari atra yaka yetre iti, utilizing our prana only and our energy, nayanari etre kitra, moving objects, nayanari atra, genetic restoration, nayanari etre iti, siyanari etre kutra, yapayetre, unti yanari etre. But we must first, nayanari etre, develop nayanari atra, this sensitivity, nayanari atra, to the space around us, nayanari etre kitra yikayitra, if we desire to manipulate it with our own energy. Sitra, kitra, pitra, pita yanari etre kitri, unta yanari etre, utta kayatra, mayanari etre kiti, sitra yata, yatare etre, inta yanari etre, kitra yanari etre. To achieve this sensitivity, kayanari etri putra pitianeri ayaka yetre yata yasa yaka yatra yata yadre yave untianeri etre kiti Usiakayatri pitra ukianari etri kiti untianari etri kitra payetri entiakayanari etri kiti untianari etri kiti untianari atra sitra kayatra umayanari etri iti untianari etri pitayakayatri isayakayatra ikayatra sitriyata yata 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 ete. We must first transcend Nayakayatri ete, our reptilian brain, Niyanari Atra, that keeps us in a fight or flight mode, Nayanari Etri Kitra, so we can relax our nervous system, Viatri Kutra Yakayatri iti unta, to expand Nayanari Etri beyond Nayanari Etri, our five sensory human perception. Fikatra Ukayatri ete. Sianari etri kutra yanari etri kita yanari etri and start yanari etri our next phase yanari atra kitra unta yanari etri in our human evolution pitra yaka etri unti yanari etri kayatra etri where we regain yanari ekatra kitra kita power nayanari etri over our own kingdom nayanari etri sitra kita yatra unti yanari etri kitra sianari etri iti sianari etri uta kayatri ete. Focusing on the root chakra, kayanari etre kitra, yanari etre. If any energy na yanari atra kitra, yanari atra ita ata ete is there to keep us in the fight or flight, nayanari atre kitra yata, it is time to release them. Nayanari etre kite, yanari atre uta kayatra ata yete, making peace nayanari atra kitra with these energies, nayanari etre kitra, who keeps our reptilian brain nayanari etre kita ita yanari etre engaged nayanari atra unta yanari etre ite in a state of constant fear kayatra kitra inte yanari etre putra piti etre inte yanari etre. Time to release this fear nayanari atra kitra and transcend nayanari etre kutra piatre into our reptilian brain nayanari etre kitra, so we can truly embrace nayanari atra our full divinity piatre untayanari atra kitra ninayanari atra etra and exude nayanari atra our godlike attributes nayanari etre iti mitra kitra siatri untayanari atra kitra sianari etre iti pitra ayavae uti unnayari ete kutra piti untira ase ete untiaka etre. We are of the divine nayanari etre kitra yanari etre iti unnayari atra itra. We are making peace, Nayanari Atra, with this reptilian energy, Yanari Akayatra Tita Sitra Yetira Atakayete. Thank you for all of the teachings, Nyanari Etre Sitra. May you go in peace, Nayanari Etre Kitra Yanari Etre. May you always walk in love and peace, Nayanari Atra Kitri in harmony. Mayanari Etre Kitra Yakayatra Sitra Yete ete. Time to embodied harmony, payatra, kitra, and peace. Niyanari etre, calling in the energy of peace and calm. Mayanari etre, kutra, kiti, intiyanari atra, to come and wash over our vessel. Nayanari etre, kitra, yanari etre, ketra, and replace all of these fear programs. Nayanari etre, ukayatra, that no longer serves us. Sitri, kutra, piti, yanari ete. Aya verutra kayete unti naya nariata yata yete site yataraka utra pitaya nari etri kuti mi kayatra yiti anta yakayatra uti siya verutu kayake ete siara kayiti udra nayanti rete uti siarave utta siaravere ete sia varate etre uttayatale ete kuntra mayanari ete utti iti niyanari etre kutta yanari ete sitra yanari ete viare attakayatre eti unta miyanari etre kita ayanari ete sikayatra uva enenaya kayete utti miare utra sikayanari etre kitra kayatre untayanari etre kata antayanari ete siare eve untiyanari etre kita yanari etre kiti unta. this concludes this week's energetic transmission. Please allow yourself to really integrate these energies. As mentioned before, sometimes when we do work, especially like in root chakra or with energy of survival versus thriving, we may feel the energies of peace and calm at first, but then it might stir up other things. So we may feel great one day, and then the next day we feel like panicky, or we experience stress and anxiety, and we don't know where it's coming from. It's essentially the energy being released. So there's feeling of stepping back into a prayer space, wondering why it's happening, when really we're actually just releasing these energies. So again, if this is what is happening, no, it's because it's working. And how I personally navigate these spaces is just let it be what needs to be. It's not about like engaging with the stress or the anxiety as they're being released. It's just observing that it's there and choosing to do what we're doing anyways, and then it just dissipates and on its own, and then we're good. So thank you very much for watching. Drink plenty of water, and again, take time to integrate. It may take a few days for the whole process to take place. So thank you for watching. My name is Isabelle, and see you soon.